our partnership started in 2007 when we established a class here at the EOC for students, adult students who did not meet the EOC's entrance threshold. So in other words, their skills were lower than the bar that the SEOC had set at that time. When I came to Literacy CNY, we were getting some great outcomes from that classroom. And so I started to look for grant money and other sources of funding to expand that. And then Tim and I got to know each other, and he asked me one day if we would ever consider moving our offices here. And it took us about a year to put that together, but we did. And so now we have a very intentional partnership where we're providing a gateway to classes, to EOC classes, but to other classes and training programs in the community as well. And because we're here and centrally located, it's much easier for students to find us than it used to be. And I think that we are regarded now as more of a part of the adult education system in the community than we were before we moved in.
At this day and age, we really need to be collaborating, and on behalf of the population that we serve. And one thing with literacy volunteers at the time, now Literacy CNY, was it was clear that that partnership would serve our community better, period, point blank. What we provided by us partnering together was a one-stop shop for a pathway to opportunity. And that's, I think, was the most important thing. And as Marsha mentioned, I started in 2009. I heard about literacy volunteers. I'm like, oh, so what do they do? And then I would hear, well, we refer students out. But if you really work with populations that we work with, a referral out never means they may come back. When someone has decided they want to embark on education, especially at the levels that we're at, in many cases, you know, they have mustered up a lot of energy and motivation, and if they are met with maybe another step, there are things that could prevent them from coming back. So it was clear, us coming together, figuring out a way to form a one-stop shop, having a pathway, and sharing our resources was, I hate to say it, kind of a no-brainer. Actually, there were people transferring from literacy before we merged, but we really didn't have the tracking at that time. Now we have the tracking, and in our graduation ceremony, we had, I'm forgetting, 17 that were actually within a short period of time referred, whether they referred out from us to literacy or from others, I'm not sure, but they actually were referred from literacy volunteers to our organization. You know, and that's critical. Our enrollment, we're at around 770 students that we enroll on a yearly basis for various numbers of programs, but those academic programs that are the most logical in most cases are clearly beneficial to have that referral source.
Right. And beyond that, if I may just add, we also had 11 students who graduated out of the EOC last May into, some went on to OCC, job training programs,
EOC,
and those 11 had started with us at some point in time. In fact, one of your students who graduated with honors had been a literacy volunteer student, and she said to us that night, she said, it all began for me with LVGS. I wouldn't be here. So we have now got ample evidence that this program works to the benefit of the students.
Really am confident that, you know, this is just the beginning of the success we can provide for our community. I think one thing that Marsha said that I kind of want to talk about is that low-hanging fruit for our particular community and what's needed. We have economic issues. I think that we are on the cusp of really taking Syracuse to another level. And let's face it, we are in competition with other cities in New York State. You know, one thing that we are doing is providing an opportunity to bring a segment of the population that may not necessarily be engaged with this economic opportunity, but is probably the most likely to remain here, living, and be a pillar for it. And I think that's the strength that we're bringing to the table. So.
We see ourselves as advocates for adult education as well as providers of instruction of adult education. And so this is our primary partnership and maybe our favorite one, you know, but it's not our only partnership. And so, you know, it's been great. It's been wonderful to be here. We're very grateful to Tim and his staff for all of the resources that they provide to us. But again, it's all about the students at the end of the day, and I think we're providing a better service now than we have ever provided before.